direct interaction with. So when they get to see, rather than just say Shun unemployment, they just say, hey, Mr. Shun.
Mr. Shun.
You know, what message have you? So I don't know.
So that's where the name came from.
Yeah, and the name also inspires the things they do, right? Because it speaks more. Shun itself means stop. All right? So stop unemployment. Stop things that make young people feel less of themselves. So I see myself as stepping into that space of advocacy for young people.
Great.
So it's a reminder.
It's a reminder for you.
Absolutely.
You know, build the consciousness.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's take it from that youth unemployment. It's crazy these days. The numbers are scary, and walk around town, and you see the way they say it in the city of Lagos. Everybody is vexing. Everybody is angry.
Yeah.
And I think one of the primary causes you would believe on the first round is unemployment. These guys are unemployed. I was driving in this morning as early as 6 a.m. No, as early as 5 a.m. I passed through. Let me not give out the zone yet. You know, maybe when we get talking, I will be glad to talk about those guys. As early as 5 a.m. saw a group of young boys, young men that should be productive this in the morning, vibing to, now, vibing to some early morning ginger, and it breaks my heart, walking around Lagos, and this is reality. This is what you see every time. Can you make sense of that?
It doesn't make sense. I think there was a point, right? I think about 5 years ago, I woke up very early in the morning. I think it was about 4 a.m. When you're trying to beat the usual Lagos traffic. Yeah. And then I got to one of the bridges, and I saw young people, sleeping under the bridge.
Under the bridge.
I know this was a thing, but that was the first time I was going to have that encounter. It broke my heart, right? But here's the thing: I speak in two light. The first one is that the system has failed every young person, right? The second aspect is that the young people now sees that as an excuse to be what they want to be, right? But there are youths who sees this problem and then hone it and then became better. Right. The truth is, you have the choice to be better. You also have the choice to wake up in the morning and be doing whatever you're doing.
Whatever you want to do.
It's about choice, but understanding that, hey, this is the problem, but I don't want to be part of the problem. I want to be the solution. And I said this often, that you are most confronted with the problem you're wired to solve. You see, if one of the problems that faces you is hunger, it's an indicator that you are supposed to break forth from that. If one of the challenges you have is that you are the firstborn and you have to take care of your family, it's an indicator that there is responsibility on you. So beyond just staying on the street of Lagos, beyond just taking all of those things that does not help you, can you just think about your life? Think about your future.
Think about
because for every man, there are people tied to your destiny, right? So if you fail yourself, you fail them.
You're failing those generations.
It's a reminder always.
Okay, Mayor, let's take it from here. When we talk youth engagement today, what does it really mean beyond getting young people busy?
It means conversation. It means conversation. It means creating platforms, sustainable platforms that can help young people thrive. I came from. I've not been around for a while. And I see the difference. The truth is, Nigeria has more than what some of this country doesn't have. I will be honest, I've been in both worlds, right? And I can tell you that young people there have things we have here, but they misuse it over there. But we have the things that they don't have, and then young people don't have access to it. Right. So I think when we say engagement, it's about creating platform where these young people can have access to all of these things. Understanding that, hey, how do I make? That's why some of us want to keep doing what we're doing, right? That, for instance, part of the thing we're planning for is that people get grant to start up something, right?
Grants, I love that one.
Those are the platform. Those are the engagement. It's not just about telling you can make it, you can be successful, but what other actions are we putting in place to make sure that these people, right? When we started Shun Employment, the idea is to give them skills. Give them, for instance, how to partner with a university who is willing to also give young people, about 100 people are going to be empowered as well. So the idea is platforms. So it's go beyond words. And I think where the problem has been is that we have people in power and authority who are just saying things, but they are not doing things.
They're not acting it out.
We need to see the difference. That's what engagement means. Engagement is, I'm not just engaging you in dialogue, but I'm also showing you how to be successful so that you too can have dialogue that can transform other people's life. Okay, Mayor, let me ask you, in your own view, what would you consider is the biggest mistake the society is making
in building our young people today? You know, growing up for some of us are children of the kids of the late 70s and early 80s, and you know, putting it side by side, children of the millennials and the Gen Zs. There's a departure. It's like we live in different worlds. You know. I once lived in a village in London. It was a village actually, and it's like I'm seeing the village of the years now here. It's a departure of these young people are. We just seem to no structure, nothing. Aside the involvement in maybe one or two online. Maybe I would like to talk about that online thing later on. You know, I don't want to delve into that. But what, in your own thoughts, is the biggest mistake we're making as a system, as a society, in building these young people?
I think we're leaving things to chance. I think we're leaving things to chance. We assume that they will figure it out. But you know, growing up, you will agree with me. Growing up, we had people who were involved in our lives. You dare not speak anyhow in the public. You dare not dress anyhow. You dare not talk to elders anyhow, right? You do that once you come home. Your father, they are waiting for you. I remember when I disrespected my mom at some point, when I was much younger. My dad was a policeman. He brought other officers. They dealt with me. You know, so those are some of the discipline that we grow up with. But this generation, so the disparity now is that we now have young people who are now couples who now have children, right? And then they say, no, it's okay. He's just being a child. He's just being a child.
People that are parents, but they also need to be.
They said they themselves also need to be parented. If that grammar is correct, you know. So we have people who are just leaving things to chance. They're living into assumption. No, they're young people. They'll figure it out. No, don't leave to chance. The law of assumption is not actually is bad in itself. The law of assumption is bad. So the ideal thing is that when you see any young person you see, the idea is if they are doing anything bad, you've got to make correction, right? I live in an environment where this is the problem. They leave it to chance, and there the mental state of every young person there is not that strong. And so because you leave them to chance, that's why we keep reading on the news something has happened. Somebody went to a school, bring in this, and began to just spray people in the school because they're not wired. They don't. So what you call love is not love if you cannot correct. Love, the true meaning of love is that I should be able to correct you. Right? But if you are not able to correct, you are not showing them love. You're only just destroying that side, and it's a matter of time.
Mayor, let me ask you. Sorry, I'm trying to take you up on all these things. You know, spot on. Do you think Nigerian young people lack opportunities or mentorship? Which one?
That's a dicey question.
Because you look at it, which one do you think is a missing?
Mentorship is available.
Okay.
Mentorship is available, but unfortunately, we have set of people who feel they are too big to approach. All right. As a matter of fact, the best way to discover your purpose is in a place of service. If you don't know what you do, I'm telling you, the secret is to find something to serve. All right. And you can't also want to be successful if you don't know where you are going. Success has a process, and process is knowing the path to take. And there are certain people who have taken certain paths. So if you don't approach them, you will assume you know. That is the problem we have. So we have young people who believe, why should I approach you? Oh, he is AK is a good host. You know AK is a good host. This is something this person looks like where you are going. But how will I approach? Why should I approach AK? But AK has what you don't have, because AK has been in this field for a long time. So the problem, we have young people who don't want to approach you. They rather want to go start off theirs, and then they fail, and then they come back and say the system has failed me. The system is bad, no doubt. But I'm telling you, this same country, people are making it. People are succeeding, but only those who are in the power, who understand the power of service, who want to get mentorship. So that's why I said the question is dicey, because mentorship is readily available. It's ready. The lady who came into the studio with me is a product of my mentorship. She has been with me for as long as I can remember.
Wow. She's here. I like to talk to her just before.
she's a product of mentorship, all right? And she has built business. In fact, I've not been able to have access to Naira. She has been and I've been around where she's been the one spending all of the money. Where she getting it from? Because she has built business. She's succeeding. I'm proud of her. Such a person cannot come to me tomorrow and say, I want to start more business. I will be willing to invest. So before you want to go start off something, look for people who started before you. Learn from them. And that's the only way to beat the bad system. That's the only way to beat the bad system.
Okay, let's talk about what you do at Shun, and take us through what you do, at your organization.
Yeah, pretty much Shun Unemployment, like I said, is a not-for-profit, and the sole aim really is to reduce the alarming rate of unemployment. So when we stepped into the space about 10 years ago, we saw that young people go to school, right? And then they finish from school, and then the job is not available. As a matter of fact, how do I even came about Shun Unemployment was in 2013. I was doing a magazine. I was producing a magazine, and I just felt the need to employ more hands to help do marketing. And then I called out for people to come in, and then I realized people who has finished university way before me, 5 years before me, were still looking for a job 5 years after. As at then, I felt something is wrong in the system. So rather than just just talk about it, that's okay. Let's start something. So we started something where we give you the skills. You can also be an entrepreneur. You can also be. There's what we call entrepreneurship. You can also work for people and also start a business. All right. And so that's the idea of Shun Unemployment. We've been doing that for 10 years. We've empowered people. We give them skills on how to build mobile apps, how to develop websites, how to be a graphics person, how to be a photographer. These are a couple of skills that we have given every young person over the last 10 years.
And these skills are FOC.
Oh, yes, they are big. As a matter of fact, we are advancing now because, we're now in the era of AI. That's why we are partnering with one of the universities in Washington, D.C., right?
Great.
To empower about 100 youth right now where they have access to AI skills, data management, and they can even have masters if they want, off tuition free and all of that. This is WordQuest University, so we're partnering with them on that. So this is part of
these studies are virtual studies.
Exactly, right?
So they can be anywhere in the world
to take part. And then the good thing is that once you have the certificate, it carries credibility and power. Yeah,
that's beautiful. That's quite encouraging. Okay, let's a little bit turn our attention to what I was talking about earlier on. One of the things that we try to use this platform for is to use it for social change. And as a radio station, we feel compelled to drive that change. And I like to speak to some of these young people out there. Some of them might be listening to us right now. What do you think, or what would you be telling that young man that is still wandering around the street of Lagos like an headless chicken? It's painful, but that's what it is. It is what it is. What will you be telling that young man now?
Man, don't allow the situations you're going through to dictate your being. Because beyond that situation, there is for everybody. That's why we're having a conference this weekend to talk about this, right?
Beautiful.
For everybody.
The conference is in Lagos?
It's in Lagos.
We'll talk about that later on.
So for everyone, there is nobody that is a non-entity. There is a particular reason for your existence. But part of the existence is that for you to get to that point of breakthrough, you've got to go through certain problems. Part of the problem can be your government. Can be the policies your government are introducing. But beyond this is you must first realize that there is something you are called to do. And so if you allow the problem to dictate your being, the implication is that you will not achieve that purpose. So beyond this now, beyond this problem, beyond these challenges you're having, that's why we're saying, get up and do something.
Do something for yourself.
If the starting point is, maybe this person that is even speaking on here, how do I reach out to him and be a mentor? Look for somebody around you that is already doing something. Somebody that the truth is, for every of us, we have somebody we admire. We have somebody that looks like where we are going. This place I am today now was somebody who was doing it at some point, and I approached him. I have different mentors for different stratas. I have mentors in business. I have mentors in ministry. I have mentors on how to turn over my money. So I have mentors, because the person who is taking me on family cannot take me on money, because they are two different things. So I have mentors for different stratas of my life. So approach. There is nothing bad in having one or more than two
mentorship.
But start from somewhere. You need it. You need clarity.
Yeah.
You need clarity is as important than where you are going.
Great.
You need it.
Great, beautiful. Now, there's something I'd like you to also speak to, and that's the use of social media.
Oh.
You know, a lot of young people these days, they live on social media. You know, I'm a very bad person on social media. If you send me messages on WhatsApp, you have to call me. You need to call me to say, oh, something is waiting.
I sent you a message now. Did you see?
You have to call me, because if you don't call me, I'm not going to check it. So, but a lot of people these days live on social media, and there's nothing. They're just there, lounging away and wasting away, doing almost nothing.
The truth is that social media in itself is not bad. Okay, it is the use that can be defined as either good or bad.
Yeah.
All right. A lot of us are product of social media. As a matter of fact, we make most of our money online. So you need to understand what you want to use your social media for. Unfortunately, people now, everybody wants to be a content creator. The truth is, if you try to be what you are not, you will suffer. And the earlier you realize, the better, because your time, days are going. You are clocking birthdays every year. So the implication is that if you keep doing, I want to be like, there are some content creators who are also going to be joining us this weekend. If you want to be like that, in fact, as a matter of fact, there's one of the ladies who is going to be joining us that I was managing her at some point, right? But we know that this is what she's called to do because she's been doing it from as young as she can remember, right? So, and they use social media as a tool to make money. But you are there, you are abusing people online, you are not making money. Every you wake up in the morning, that's the first place you go, even before you pray. You wake at afternoon when you're supposed to be thinking of that, that's the same place you be. And you are always just looking for how to throw people online. Those are the things you do. There is life beyond that. There is monetization right now that you can do with social media. There are content, healthy content. There are so many things. You can even start an online radio. There are things you can do, right? You can do a Facebook Live to talk about a topic that you know is pertinent, that is important to the society, and you get paid to do all of that, rather than just sit on it and be abusing people and all of that. You know, really, social media itself is not bad.
Okay, Mr. Shun, let's talk about something special you're doing this weekend.
Absolutely.
It's free, right?
Oh, it's free.
It's free. Yeah. I love when people give back, and you're giving back.
Absolutely.
And that's why we will love you, Mr. Shun.
Thank you so much, Mr.
We love you. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about that freebies you're giving out this weekend.
Yeah. So it's called a Triple M conference.
Triple M conference.
Yeah, which means mandate, mission, and money.
Right?
Great. Mandate.
Triple M sounds like MMM.
MMM, but it's not. It's not the MMM.
I hope it's not the MMM.
This MMM is the one that will change your life for good without having to do schemes.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Yeah. So it's called Triple M, which is mandate, mission, and money.
Great.
Right? Mandate talks about the questions of purpose and identity.
Yeah.
All right. So what am I here for? What has God called you? Mission is what has He sent me to go do? Right. Money talks about how to generate, because oftentimes you hear people say, God, I know they talk that thing. I know what I supposed to do.
Yeah.
I know what I'm called to do, but I don't get resources. But what people don't know is that resources doesn't come except you first of all discover what you're supposed to do. And so the conference tried to bring clarity where people identify, okay, this is what I'm supposed to call. So if I'm doing this now, how do I make money? That's why we're bringing professional people who have been there, people who at some point in their life didn't even know. As a matter of fact, I have one of my mentor and role model, in as much as I will call him friend, but respect the man that you respect those who have been there, was selling popcorn. I met him on campus selling popcorn. As a matter of fact, I joined him learning how to sell popcorn. Who learns how to sell popcorn? But today, this is one man who has built brands, not just in Nigeria, all over the world.
All over the world.
Right? He is there. And so he's going to be sharing his story. So it's not just about how he made money. He's also going to tell you how he has sustained money in the place of purpose. But nobody finds money without first finding purpose. You've got to find purpose, and the money comes, right? So, and this is part of the things we are going to be talking about. And people also, like I said, people get opportunity for micro grants, right?
Great.
To start up something.
We'd like our listeners to benefit from that.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
You want to get in? How can he get in?
Free access. Just
Free
showed
access.
up, register at the spot.
Register.
Because we had about 600, over 600 plus who have signed up. So
Sign
we
up
had
to be there.
close the online registration.
Great.
But people can come into the place and just
get in.
Absolutely.
So, Mr. Shun, it's a pleasure having you here this morning.
Absolutely.
So, the venue is going to be at
RCCG Power Link.
Lekki Phase 1.
Yeah.
So, if you're close by, and if you're not close by, you need to be there. RCCG Power Link, Lekki Phase 1.
Absolutely.
It's going to be tomorrow, right?
Absolutely.
So, are you having other sessions after tomorrow?
After tomorrow, so what we do with our conference, we just don't do one day talk, right?
Great.
So there's an aftermath, which is a mentorship series.
Great.
For those of them who are interested, like we said,
Yeah.
those who know that this
Those
is where
who
they're
know.
going. So we follow up with them, help them with business plan.
Yeah.
If they are looking for a job, we also help them. So
I like the part where you have to give out the grants.
Oh, everybody likes that part. Even me myself.
I'm looking for grant too.
I look forward to it.
I have a colleague that needs the grant.
So let the colleague show up.
His name is Olamide. Okay, so can they check you out on socials?
Yeah, absolutely.
Great, let's hear it.
Yeah, Mr. Shun, just Mr. MRSHUN underscore.
Mr. Shun on social media.
And then our business page, Shun Unemployment, just
Great.
SHUN Unemployment.
That's beautiful.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you, Mayor, for being here this morning. It's a
Okay.
pleasure. It's an honor to have you.
Same here.
We hope you're going to check in again.
Oh, absolutely. I love you guys. You guys have been warm from the reception to this very point. Thank you so much. What is station?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was powerful.
Thank you.
Man, your listener needs to know how good you guys are in here.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for being here this morning.
Thank you.
Okay, it's been a season of engagement with Mayor this morning. We can go on and on, but we gotta go.